Hey everybody, I'm going to show a couple of interesting tricks here. I was asked today about a way to go back and get the high and low from past bars, and kind of I think what they're looking for is to build a time series, and I built this algo several years ago, and I know it could be built more efficiently right now. I'm sure there's some sloppy stuff in here. I could probably do this better with the analytics block now, but I built this a long time ago, and there's a lot of learning tips in here as it is, so I'm going to walk through some of the stuff that's going on. As you can see, the name of the algo is Heikin-Ashi. I like Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, and they're not really native in ADL, so I had to go and build them myself, which is what I did. So what we're going to get to down here is, if you look down here, I'm going to get to these long series of information, and these are all value extractor blocks. The value extractor blocks, this is the terminal value extractor block right here, and then I daisy chain all these value extractor blocks. For example, this is the open, and I'm using a value extractor block to get to that, and you can see I'm calling on open price. Open price, open price. Where's open price? The open price is up here, right here. Open price is generated out of a value bucket block, and the value bucket block is pulling the last price, and it's coming out of trade counter. There's a store key, and the store value is trade price. So what's trade counter? Trade counter is over here, and it is, where did trade counter go? Oh, I'm sorry, no, trade counter is right here. This is literally just counting the trades that go through, and you can see the formula is set to 1, so it's going to just continue to accumulate every time time and sales pass another trade through it. So time and sales block is back here. It's going to pass a message into the trade counter. It's going to increment. Really, all I'm looking for is the 1. That's all I need. It kind of triggers everything out from there, but that's a whole other issue. That's how I'm getting the open price. Okay, and the open price populates, but before it populates, we're seeding information all the way back here through this generator block, and this generator block is triggered off of this timer, and the timer goes back to, I gotta remember where that goes to data blocks. Yeah, the timer is based off of right here, so it's saying every 60,000 milliseconds, so basically every minute, we're going to go and update this, and we're going to kick through a message throttle through here. And what happens in this daisy chain is the daisy chain is like right here. I have the open price, the most recent one. That's, as we said, over here. Actually, over here. That's reading that. But before this updates, this value extractor here is going to suck it out of here. It's going to call this open 1, which is going to be the one previous session. He's calling what's in here before this gets a chance to update. Okay, so this is going to have this data passes to here, but prior to that, this data here gets pulled from here. This is a daisy chain, what I call it. It just keeps sucking it all the way back. It's a daisy chain that goes all the way back to the end of this line, this one right here. So the message from this little timer goes through this value extractor block. So I'm going back 14, so that's going to be 15 periods. It's going to tell this block to pull from this block, which pulls from this block, which pulls from this block, all the way down the chain to here, which is the most recent. They just keep shifting back one over every minute. It's kind of the way daisy chain is through. And what I get out of that is I'm going to have 15 minutes of bar data essentially. And like I said, it's going to be for the open, the high price. This is going to pull off of high price, which is calculated over here. The high price. What is high price? How to get the high price? High price is calculated out of a max block. The max block it's literally just a max block, so it's going to take the max during a period. It's going from the trade block, which is the trade price, which is the time and sales block. So in the most recent period of the minute, basically, it's going to pull whatever the highest price was, getting the mid in the same way, just like that. This is just to check to make sure I've got enough data, so my data is going to be relevant, so I don't start calculating with early data. But really, the whole purpose of this little quick demo was to show how to get this daisy chain thing going. And the daisy chain, again, I'm calling from the open block. Like, let's go to the high. The question actually was about high. I'm going to go to the high block, which is going for the high price that I showed up here. But before that updates, this value extractor is going to take that high. So you can see all I've got right now is the most recent period. which is 35,695. When it updates, that's going to shift to here. And now we're going to have the most recent high right here. And that shift will go all the way through this chain down because of this timer. Now, timer basically just set, like I said, it's going to go off of this timer, which is every minute, go and update this stuff and suck all the information down the daisy chain. Easy peasy, right? Yeah, well, there is an article or posting in TT community that kind of explains how to do this daisy chain stuff a little more clearer than I probably am right now. And I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. But that's the point of this whole thing. You can build these bars. And now you see it's starting to build. Now you can see it actually goes back 2, but unfortunately, the market didn't really move, although it did. The high moved in this most recent period from, the most recent bar was 35,913.5. The period prior to that was 35,695. Okay, so we're slowing down. The market's going down, looks like. The low was 35,669. And now the low is 35,689. So 689 to 669. Got a lower low, and let's see, 685, and actually a higher high. That's interesting. That seems a little kludgy, but anyway, that's the way it goes. This will continue to build, and it's going to build all the way through down this chain. The volume, I don't know why I have these extraneous numbers through here, so there are some extraneous numbers. Aha, this is part of the issue too. I've got a bug in the platform, not in the platform, but my code, so I get some of these blank 0 ones. Why I get the blank 0 ones like that is if there's no updates in that minute, it's going to zero out on me, and I've got a fix for that and a later version of that, but that's kind of an issue. But there is a way to do it. But all I'm trying to show is there is a way to daisy chain this stuff. You can build these daisy chains and build time series values essentially in ADL. And the reason I was doing all this, like I said before, was I was actually building some Heikin-Ashi rules, Heikin-Ashi bars. And I think this is for like a Heikin-Ashi engulfing, and built that down here. But that's kind of the gist of it. But if you have questions on it, I'm sure you do. I know this is very confusing, but it is possible to build these time series bars, and it can be done. I'm going to link to an article in the TT community that actually explains this a little more clear than I am, and I think I kind of ripped some of this code off from there actually a long time ago. So there is a way to do it, and if you have any questions, let me know. I might go through and actually build this again and build it more slowly, piece by piece, so you see a little more clearly. But that's all I want to get out tonight, was let you know you can build these, and this is really the trick, is the daisy chain process I spoke about. I'm going to try and rebuild this either in the same fashion, or I might rebuild it using the analytics block, which is a cleaner solution, in the next couple of days. But there's some ideas for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Oh, by the way, I said there's some learning points to it. One more learning point I wanted to point out was that when you're using the time and sales block, this isn't really relevant now because I'm using Bitcoin here. But if you're using a regular futures contract, you got to watch out. The time and sales block will pass OTC contracts as well. Block trades, things like that, which a lot of people don't really necessarily want in their calculations. They don't want to consider those. So what I do is I go into a branch block like this, and I kind of take it out. So I go into the branch block, pass the trades to the branch block, and I use this formula right here, which is trade is OTC, and that exclamation is not. So if it is not an OTC trade, it's true, that's good, then I want it. Then I'm going to go ahead and pass that information along into my message extractor block. Otherwise, it's just going to get dropped. That's an important thing to note. So you kind of wipe out some of those gyrations you have in your data sets because of OTC trades. As we all know, OTC trades will often come in outside of the range, and it's nothing you could have participated in anyway, so it's not really worth considering in your model. So there's some of the tips to that. There's some of the quick information. Let me know what you think about it and what you want to do next. But this is the important thing to remember, is how to do this daisy chain stuff. And I will probably rebuild that into the video just to show how that works, because it is a pretty cool feature. Other than that, hey, just under 10 minutes. So it's 10-minute mark. I'm going to sign out. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you later.